It can seem like there's endless possibilities when it comes to what used car you could buy for $25,000. But the real question is, what car should you buy? That's what we're about to find out. And be sure to check out HotCars.com for thousands of other car comparisons, reviews, and news. There's three main factors to consider when looking for a used sports car: power, handling, and reliability. The 5 cars we're about to list excel in each of these categories in different ways. The most clickbaitable characteristic of a used sports car is definitely horsepower. The car in our list that is a great horsepower value is the 2015 Mustang Gt. Its 5-liter Coyote V8 puts out a substantial 435 horsepower and 400 pound-feet of torque. This lets it get to 60 miles an hour in just 4.5 seconds and lets it run a quarter mile in 13 seconds flat. It's also readily available with a manual transmission for more engaging driving. This power figure doesn't come at a complete compromise in handling either. The latest generation Mustang has been praised by the automotive media for its refined chassis and steering. Edmunds gave it a prestigious rating of 4.4 out of 5 because of its ability to combine its power with the added handling. Ford products aren't typically known for reliability, but it was still able to achieve a rating of 76 out of 100 from J.D. Power, so it's pretty on par with most other modern cars. J.D. Power also praised the Mustang GT for great rear visibility, vehicle stability in poor conditions, and the interior styling. Some things they criticized were the small size of the second row seats, the stock engine sound, and how easy it is to get in and out of the vehicle. The second row seat issue is something that you sacrifice with any two-door sports car, so if you need the extra room, you'd be better off just getting one of the sporty 4-door cars on the list. The same can be said for getting in and out of the vehicle. The stock sound of the exhaust is unfortunate, especially for a 5-liter V8, but this can be easily remedied with a less restrictive aftermarket exhaust. You could even find exhaust options with valves that can open or close to have control over when you want to be loud or quiet. The second car on the list has a much different design philosophy. It's the 2014 Mitsubishi Evolution 10. The Evo 10 ended its production run in 2015, so it has somewhat dropped off the radar, but it's a car that's still beloved by automotive enthusiasts. It was able to squeeze 291 horsepower and 300 pound-feet of torque out of a 2-liter turbocharged engine. This car is a tuner's dream because of the strength and design of its engine. Tuners have been able to achieve staggering horsepower figures with simple tunes and bolt-on modifications and even more power after modifying the internals. The Evo is also known for its superb handling due to its all-wheel drive system. The Evo has been famous for its World Rallycross heritage, and it shows in the handling abilities of the Evo 10. Edmunds gave it a rating of 5 out of 5 for its combined handling and power. They specifically praised it for the responsiveness of the turbocharged engine and the extensive list of features that came standard when new. They also praised the optional dual-clutch automatic transmission. It shifts quickly and effortlessly and allows you to accelerate faster than any human could shift manually. Edmunds criticized the Evo for a few things as well. The steering wheel has limited adjustability, the driver's seat doesn't adjust for height, the interior materials aren't the best quality, the trunk is very small, and the ride quality is very firm. The firm ride, however, is one of the ways that the Evo achieves such a dynamic driving experience, so it's up to you if that's something worth sacrificing. The main challenge for buying an Evo is finding one that hasn't been poorly modified or abused. If you can find a clean example, this car would be a great catch. They also have great resale value, so you'll get a premium when you go to resell it. The third car on the list is an often overlooked European option, the 2015 Bmw M235i. Most people think of only the M4 or the M2 as the main driver's cars from BMW, but the M235i shares lots of similarities with the M2. It's not dramatically down on power at 320 horsepower and 332 pound-feet of torque, and it's still able to reach 60 miles an hour in 4.8 seconds, reaching the quarter mile at 13.4 seconds. It's the perfect car if you want refined ride quality, a classy appearance, and dynamic driving characteristics. BMW may not be known as the most reliable automaker, but J.D. Power gave this model an 84 out of 100 for quality and reliability. J.D. Power praised the M235i for its great acceleration, responsive handling, and rear visibility. It criticized it for its limited rear space and its less than great audio system and drivo infotainment system. These may be criticisms that the average person may find annoying, but they are much less likely to matter to someone who's seeking an ultimate sports car. The positives they mentioned far outweigh the few compromises. If they really are a big deal, BMW also offers a similarly powered sedan version in the 3 Series. But you might not get quite as much responsiveness because the sedans tend to be tuned for daily driving. The 4th car on the list is one of the most iconic modern Japanese sports cars, the 2017 Toyota 86. It's also available as the Subaru BRZ and Scion FRS, but they're almost identical. This car is the right choice if your main focus is handling and steering feel. It has been praised by virtually every automotive journalist as exceeding in this area. At the same time, it has also been criticized by almost all automotive media for lacking power, which is true. It only has 205 horsepower and 156 pound-feet of torque, which definitely isn't a lot, but it does have a 7,500 RPM redline naturally aspirated engine, which is very linear and fun to push to the limit. Some side benefits of being a naturally aspirated engine that's down on power is that it'll get 30 miles per gallon on the highway and will also be the most reliable powertrain out of any of the cars on this list. JD Power rated it at 81 out of 100 for reliability, and being a naturally aspirated Toyota engine, it will likely last for years if it's properly maintained. JD Power specifically mentioned positive characteristics that included the amount of trunk space for the car this size, the great rear visibility, and the surprising quietness in the cabin while driving. A few things they criticized were the poor quality of the heating and air conditioning, poor quality material on the seats, and the transmission for not being as smooth as it could be. Toyota isn't known for the best feeling manual transmission in the industry, but combining with all the other great aspects of the car, it's still a great overall package. The final car on the list is best suited for someone who has a separate, reliable daily driver, but wants the absolute best handling you can buy for 25 grand. It's a 2007 Porsche Boxster S. This car is similar to the BRZ in that it's down on power compared to the other cars on this list, but it is still the absolute best handling car you can buy at this price. As you probably already know, there are lots of trade-offs and risks associating with buying a 14-year-old Porsche, but for some people the risks may be worth it. As long as you can make sure the IMS bearing issue has been resolved, and it comes with a clean Carfax, and you're able to get a quality pre-purchase inspection, it could be an incredible weekend car. It has 295 horsepower and 251 pound-feet of torque, which is plenty for a car this size on a fun back road. It still gets to 60 miles an hour in 4.9 seconds and to the quarter mile in 13.4 seconds. JD Power gave it an overall rating of 81 out of 100 with a driving experience rating of 88 out of 100, which is hard to beat. Specific positive things they mentioned are the surprising amount of interior storage, the sound of the exhaust, and the handling in corners. The small criticisms they had included the mediocre audio system, poor sound insulation in the cabin while driving, and a poor heating and air conditioning system. These things are nice to have, but the incredible handling makes it worth sacrificing these things. Although you can minimize the chances of big repairs, the risks will always be there with a Porsche. Even minor repairs will cost you substantially more than any of the other cars on this list. But for the right person, this could be an incredible car for $25,000. Which car would be your pick? Let us know in the comments below.